Hi everyone. So today I want to talk about the common issue we face with not having enough ports on our systems to connect devices to, and not having enough flexibility sometimes to compare various amplifiers, speakers with multiple devices. So the classic connectivity problem with your vintage stereo especially, they only have one or two aux ports, and you usually have more than one or two devices. So I have a streamer for myself, I have a CD player, I have a turntable, which sometimes I want to listen to through a phono board. It piles on, right? Usually I have at least 3 or 4 devices I need to listen to, and I only have one aux port. So what do you do in this case? You use what you call they call an audio switch, or an input source selector. These are the same thing. Any device basically that can take the source signal and patch it through to your stereo devices. I've also seen these called audio routers, audio switchers. They have multiple names they go by, but basically they have multiple sets of RCAs, some coming in, some coming out. So, for example, you see here, this is my device actually, it's a Tech TC716. There's inputs, devices, so the tuner, the CD player, or a PC or a tape deck or whatever, and the amplifiers. So basically all your sources go into the input side, and it will send those to the ports on your amplifier that you connect them to. That way you can have more than one device. There are many types of these. First of all, some general guidance. You want a simple passive switch. You don't want anything that's active. You don't want anything that acts as a preamp that might have its own gain, for example. That's bad for sound quality. You want to buy something branded. You don't want to go for a low cost, budget option. You want some good electronics in there, some good passive electronics. These often come in 4-in-1 or 4-in-2 configurations. I'm throwing some examples now of things you can find often on the internet. So sites like Amazon, for example. Okay, SaluPeak is one of them. You see here it has 4 devices inbound, 1 out, for example. The 1 out goes directly to your aux input on your amplifier. And when you've selected that aux input, you can play whichever one of these 4 devices you've switched to. Same logic. This next unit here is also is a branded Chinese one. I forget the exact name. Again, same logic though. Multiple outputs, multiple inputs, and you have selectors for each, so you can select up to 4 devices to 2 amplifiers. There's a British company which is called BERESFORD, made the best of this type along with Japanese Luxman. BERESFORD is no longer in business. They sold out. They sold to a company called Tech, who market these under various names. This Tech itself, there's you also may find them as New Tech or PROFITEC. Anyway, there's some Tech derivative. These are all good. I have the model 716, which is actually very flexible. You just hit any 2 of these 6 inputs, and those 2 will be connected. So, for example, if my amp is on in position 1, and in position 5 I've connected a CD player, when 1 and 5 are pushed in, the CD player, the amp will play will play from the CD player. The top of the line one is the 7240. I'm showing you here. This is the one actually that's called the line level active router or the audio router. Good stuff, well made. This one actually even spells it out for you. It says amp A, amp B, connected to aux 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, very simple. There's a good one here also from Dynavox. Same logic. 4 devices, 4 sources to 2 amps. These machines cost between $50 and 120, 130 tops. Do they affect the sound? The purists will argue that they do affect the sound. But if it's a good, well-made, and it's a machine and it's passive, I don't know. I can't really detect a difference in these. I have tried. I think they're fine. There's a lot of debate over this on the internet. You can read about it. Some people are flat out against it. Too much in the signal path. I don't think it's an issue personally. You can try one out for $50-$60 and tell me if I'm wrong. Anyway, I haven't heard a difference. I hear some people say about the sound degradation and there's no sound stage and the instruments aren't breathing. I didn't know instruments could breathe. But okay, if they can't breathe, maybe they are being affected. But at the end of the day, it solves your problem. And it doesn't have to be for the best possible audio quality. It could be just to try out something. And it may also be for the sake of convenience. So it may be that if you want to do your more critical listening, you just take this out and you plug in your RCA to your sources one by one and listen to them. But it solves your problem. It also opens up more prospects for you. You can connect more than one or two amplifiers, right? So it becomes very tempting then to say, hey, I'd like to A/B stuff. I have my 2 amps connected, multiple sources. I can hear both amps playing the same source, for example, and A/B them. You can, but you also need to take care of the speaker side of things, because until now we've been talking about RCA connectivity. So the second device you may want is an amplifier or speaker switch selector. These are typically in 2x2 configurations. So connecting 2 amps to 2 speakers. You connect the speaker outputs of both amps and both speakers. You have 2 sets of speakers, and off you go. Then you're fully flexible. If you've done the audio source bit first, then you do this. You're fully flexible to compare 2 amps playing various inputs through 2 sets of speakers, for example. Happy days. Works cool. For example, the diagram here shows how you would do that. Amplifiers in, speakers in. Happy days, right? Some of these also have remote controls. So you can sit on your couch and do this. I use the Duke Audio Little Bear, which gets lots of bad press, some of the audio experts, but also praised by some others. It has the added benefit that has VU meters. Great. Perfectly fine by me. Doesn't change the music, at least to my ears. And when I do this, I have the ability to compare 2 amplifiers with 2 sets of speakers playing the same sources. Very good for A/B testing. The other benefit of doing it this way for A/B testing is that you don't have to worry about different RCA cables going to different devices on your different amplifier. You can drive yourself crazy trying to make things equal. Otherwise, You put in two devices like this, an audio source selector, and you're good. No need to change anything else. So there you have it. This is a good way to be able to play around with multiple sets of devices. I've been trying this out for about 6 months now. I haven't seen any drop in audio quality. I have heard one review, for example, on the Duke Audio that it's been blamed for introducing unwanted noise at 95 dB or above. That's far above my average listening level, so it doesn't affect me. Cool. That's all for today. I hope you liked this video. Take care. Be safe. If you have advice for me or other solutions in mind, tell me. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit subscribe and like. Have a great day. Nick out.